In this video, I'm doing a life admin day. A life admin day is just a day that you fill with all of the small, nagging tasks, usually the things that you've been procrastinating. This is my way of batching the to-dos that I'm avoiding in one day. I try to do this at least once a month to keep myself sane. And then after my life admin day, I'm actually reorganizing my space completely. So I started my day by picking out all of my life admin tasks from my master to-do list, starting out with the most annoying ones that are going to make the biggest of differences. I now have a list of a whole bunch of things that I'd like to do on my life admin day. With my life admin days, my list is always overly ambitious. Like, I'm not gonna get all this done, but the lucky thing is that most of this stuff just isn't urgent. I leave all of this stuff for my life admin day. So I do a brain dump of to-dos every week of just anything that's on my mind, little and big. And that's not to say that this stuff isn't important, just a lot of the time it's not stuff that's gonna have a huge impact on my life in like 3 years' time. But it is stuff that when I do it will feel significant to me. It's like the little things, the little annoying things that sit in the back of your mind that if you don't do them, they build up and they are impactful. The first thing that I wanted to do with my day was to start the process of hemming the curtains in our house. So a while ago, I put up a bunch of new curtains. Out of what I think was laziness, I didn't hem them. This is not good. Clearly, we can't leave it like this. We also have these curtains and this curtain. And I procrastinated hemming them for a while because it's such a big task, or at least it feels like it. We don't have a sewing machine. We don't have a good space for hemming large pieces of material. And because it was something that I really wanted to avoid, I decided to get it in motion first thing on my life admin day. So what I've decided to do with these curtains is actually put them in the washing machine first. It's so many curtains to wash. This is such a process. Curtains often have shrinkage in the wash, so if I hem them pre-washing them, then they are going to get hemmed too high. And when I wash them next, they won't be usable curtains. Realistically, I probably should wash them multiple times to really get all of the shrinkage out, but I'm just not going to do that. I'll probably hem with just like an inch to spare or something in case there is any extra shrinkage. And I won't ever be putting these in the dryer because I don't really use the dryer anyways. So I'm not worried that there'll be like a crazy amount of shrinkage from a dryer in the future. Then I moved towards cleaning out the fridge. So the fridge was really at a point where it was absolutely in need of a tidy. It felt like a mess, and whenever I needed to grab something, I could feel how messy it was. This is the fridge before. Right now, there are just so many bits and pieces of chocolate that are hiding around our fridge from Easter. I reorganized our fridge, I think before the new year, and it felt so good and so fresh, but my fridge just isn't something that I maintain. It's not part of my daily tidy. I definitely don't keep it as clean and clear as I should, but it feels so good when everything is accessible, and I want to get it back to that state. That's the goal today. I cleaned out the bottom drawer of the fridge. This was what caused me to realize that I needed to do a clean out of the fridge. How does this happen? I don't even know what it is. Ugh. It had gotten gross over time. So much better. Now I need to put all of this back in, and I'll go through each item and make sure that it's actually something that we're using as well. And I put everything back in the fridge neatly and nicely after I got rid of everything that was just no longer needed. The fridge looks so much better. I feel so much better about it, and it really didn't take as long as I thought. It's definitely one of those tasks that you put off because you're like, oh, that'll take forever, but it never does take as long as you think it will. Visually, you're not going to see that much of a difference, but it's definitely 1,000 times more organized. We have an entire one of these for all of the Easter stuff, and meal prep is up there. I took a quick break for food. This was a meal that Luke made me, and then I went to clean off the top of our fridge. Look at the top of our fridge. I did a deep clean of our house not that long ago, and clearly I missed the top of the fridge because this is you know. This fridge was so dusty and I had no idea. I randomly saw the top of the fridge for some reason a few weeks ago, and since then it had just been in the back of my mind like the top of our fridge needs to be cleaned. So I wiped that down completely and I got rid of all of the dust. The next task on my list was cleaning down a surface that was actually outside of our house. It had gotten quite dirty, as you can see. This space had been killing me for a while, but once again I never got around to doing anything about it. It was really satisfying. I used a full-on mold remover. I had my mask on. It turned into a way bigger task than I thought it would be and took a lot longer, but it felt so satisfying. I wish that I could have shown you every single step of that because I feel so accomplished. I feel like a bloody superwoman. I ended up pretty much cleaning down the whole front of my house, which is something that I will openly admit I've never done before. Something I probably should have done. Clearly, it looks about 1,000 times better. Since I'd gone to all of that effort, I couldn't miss the cat door, which also shows at the front of the house. This is the cat store, and you can't really see it through the camera, but it's quite quite dirty because she walks in and out of there all the time. Even though she's constantly cleaning herself, it somehow just gets really dirty. So I could notice that on the outside of the house because everything else looked clean and then the cat door just did not. So I'm going to clean that down. So I wiped that down as well. During all of this, I was actually hanging out curtains from the wash and putting new curtains on to be washed. That was kind of an ongoing thing throughout the day. I've just gotten dressed into my workout clothes because I'm going to Pilates later. But before I go to Pilates, I have a few errands that I want to run. The next task on my list was to go into Bunnings and to get a replacement indoor clothesline. You can see that it's slowly falling apart and rusting. I'd usually use it to death, but if it's rusting, the rust will get on white things like this and ruin things. And for now, I just went out and I bought an identical replacement. I also popped into Officeworks to get some replacement pens. I'm so fussy when it comes to pens. Everyone has a specific style of pen. For me, it's the Artline 4.0. Is it 4.0? And it's got a little like felt tip kind of thing. I'm not sure. Look, I buy the same pen every single time from Officeworks. The next day, I shuffled into reorganizing the house. Excuse my shiny face, I've just applied my skincare. Today is moving day. By moving day, I mean we're moving into different rooms in the same place. So I made a video recently about redoing my bedroom. It went from this to this. And in the comments, a few people were like, this should be your office. It makes sense to be your office. And at first, and you'll see this in the comments, I was like, absolutely not. It's too small, it would be too disruptive. And then I sat with it. I asked Luke about it to see what he thought. And eventually I just completely changed my mind and decided that it was the greatest idea, and we set a date to move. So we're moving almost everything in the house around, at least 3 of the rooms. We do plan on staying in this space for another year or 2, so this gave me a really good opportunity to just reorganize and refresh. We haven't moved for a hot second, and I feel like moving just gives you this really good opportunity that you don't get at any other time to cull down and get really clear on what you own. So I actually started off the moving day with finally hemming the curtains that hang up between me and my sister's half of the house. I did these first because I didn't want them to have to deal with seeing us in our space for another day, and privacy is also important, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. I used iron-on hemming tape from IKEA, which was so easy to use, but it still took me a really long time. To be totally honest, Luke did most of the heavy moving for this process. I actually felt kind of unwell, so I got little tasks, like I finally painted the bottom of the bricks in our room. These rooms used to have carpet, so the bricks were only painted up to the carpet. And for whatever reason, when we put in the vinyl, we just didn't paint them fully. This felt like the only opportunity we'd get for a while to paint them without anything in the way. After a proper vacuum and clean of the space, we started moving things into my new office and then the bedroom. Good morning. So I didn't film anywhere near as much as I should have yesterday, but we were in such a rush just to get everything moved. But I'm gonna give you a preview of what everything looks like. It's a mess. Yeah, a hot mess. I haven't even bothered to clean my room, so don't mind the space. But this will show you like what we've done. So this space is now the bedroom. As I said, really messy bed. I'll show you it when it looks nice soon. Bedside tables over here. We've got my drawers. Essentially, this is kind of like an extension of what is now my office. It's pretty much my office, but moved into this space, and we've added a bed. Over here, we've got a bunch of shoes, and I'm going to have hopefully like a hanger where I can hang all of my clothes from there. We've shuffled everything around. The good thing about this space is that there is way more light that comes in, which is something I actually didn't realize until moving in here. I don't know, I don't spend much time in this space outside of like when I'm sleeping. I can't hear the sound of the rain. If you followed me on Instagram, like I've talked about this a few times, we have pretty much a tin roof out where my office used to be. When it rained, it was so overwhelmingly loud, and some people love the sound of rain on a tin roof. I'm just not one of those people. It just overwhelms me and I get really weird. I don't know, I hate that sound, despise it. So I don't have to hear that when I'm in here because it's insulated a bit better. Also, I've got my audio recording space in the corner, so everything's in the one spot. And I have these shelves, which we're gonna be like reshuffling. Once again, I can use them to store some of my like filming stuff, which will be great. After we'd moved all of the big stuff in, I wanted everything to feel really fresh, so I wanted to wash my white couch cover. And then back to curtains. My beautiful mom, an actual angel, hemmed these curtains literally the morning after I gave them to her, so I was able to hang them all up. Me and Luke are matching in this shot, and it was absolutely his choice. I just wanted wanted to affirm. He saw me this morning in this blue shirt and then he put on his blue shirt too. I did not force him. He wanted to do it and he was cackling. He thought it was funny. When my space is disorganized, I truly feel like I cannot do anything. So I made it a priority to just get my space together. I started by organizing my vanity. I put my fresh couch cover on and then I started tackling the shelves in the office. This cord section is an absolute mess. So I need to sort that out first because I don't know what's charging. My phone's dying. I'm like, what's plugged in? So I'm going to work on that first. So that's now become a charging station. It is specifically a charging station for my batteries. The boxes are gonna be stored under the bed because they're linen, it felt appropriate. These shelves will be the absolute death of me. I can't seem to get them in an organized fashion. I think it's because there's so many different contexts on these shelves. You know how with drawers, you'll have like all of the stuff related to, I don't know, energy in one drawer. Like you'll have matches and you'll have batteries and that all makes sense in your mind. These shelves just have so many different things on them that I'm like, I don't really know what the context of these shelves are. I probably sound like I'm really overthinking it, but I actually had on my life admin list to label these boxes because they're all filled with linen and linen literally looks the same no matter what it is. My labeling is absolutely nothing fancy. It's just these Avery labels that you can usually stick onto anything. I don't need it to be fancy, I just need it to be functional. I moved a lot of Luke's books to under our bed, and I also moved a lot of the linen that was in the shelving to under the bed on the other side. So right now under the bed we've got all of Luke's books, which will move because that is not the ideal place for books. We want to get a bookshelf over that side, or I'm thinking if that doesn't fit at all, maybe we could put shelves across there just on the top, obviously, like where we can still walk through. But if we have some long shelves there, that should be able to hold all of the books. That would be perfect. Might make the room look a little bit smaller, but we'll see. We're going to have new curtains put over that as well. Bloody curtains, I'm done with them. And over this side, you have all of the linens and their boxes are labeled. Once all of the books are moved into the bookshelves, then I'm going to put more like fluffy winter blankets over this side of the bed because we don't really have any of those under there yet. They're kind of stored in the lounge, which doesn't make any sense. Storing everything in the one place is definitely better. So store the fluffy winter blankets under this side of the bed, as well as like the bigger, thicker doonas that are for winter. And then we should be golden. I think that's like the perfect place to be storing linens under the bed, so long as there are nice label boxes that are easy to get out. Right now, all of my tech stuff is stored in here. So it's not super comfortable to open and everything is like stuffed in. So that I'm going to store in the new shelving that I have. So this is what everything looks like. There's no containers and no like sectioning. So we're gonna see how that goes for a little while. I really just wanted, particularly after having everything in that tiny space, I wanted everything to be accessible. So like lots of space between things that I could just reach in and grab something. I didn't feel like I had to like go past things, and that's why everything's quite spaced out. We'll see if I can sustain it. It doesn't look great, but it feels a lot better than when it was in that tiny cramped space. I'm also going to move all of my craft stuff that was in the bottom shelf into over here. This space in general feels really inaccessible. Like I can already feel it considering these open from that way, and maybe I can like shuffle them around somehow so they open from this way, but you literally have to like get yourself in here just to get everything out. So I'm not sure whether I'll keep that storage, but for now I'm going to move all my craft stuff into there because it's super accessible. In my old office there was really no storage space except for a little cabinet and obviously the storage space for clothing, so I felt really spoiled that I had a few shelves to use and I wanted to get them really nice and organized. So now we have the craft shelves. Once again, it looks super unorganized. I don't know, it's really open and it didn't have any containers. Like I wasn't using containers when everything was in here, so I'm not sure how it's gonna go sitting all open like this. I think this is definitely gonna be a trial run. I like open because everything's easy to put back and everything is easy to grab out, and that's really important for my mind. If things aren't easy to put back, particularly, they won't be put back. And that worked perfectly in this cabinet, but we'll see how it goes in like the larger space. Okay, so this is the final situation. Nothing at all looks organized, but it feels organized in my mind, and that is the main thing. So on this shelf we have all things like computer and camera related. So we've got cords, we've got all the camera stuff, we've got printer paper, as well as there's toner in that basket. it. Then up here, we've got birthday stuff. We've got crafty things, and then like, I don't know, this is still crafty stuff, but I also use it for projects around the house. Up here, we have, I guess, decor and entertainment stuff. So this is stuff that I take on picnics, as well as like set up if something is going on. And then up here, there's winter and travel stuff. And in my mind, those things go together because it's not very cold here. So gloves, beanies, and scarves truly only come out if I am traveling to somewhere that's very cold, because there's not really a need for gloves, beanies, or scarves here, or there could be, but I don't wear them. And we've got a little mini travel suitcase, as well as travel accessories, and then another travel bag. Down here, there's all of this packing blanket stuff that will go soon because I'm trying to get this room soundproofed because you can hear the cars quite clearly. Then we've got some of Luke's books which will eventually go, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that bottom shelf. We'll see. Now that there is everything on the shelf, I'm gonna actually put up the curtain that was supposed to be there. I have been putting it up because I wanted to get everything sorted on there before I chucked it up. My room is now organized, and I literally do feel like a new human being. I didn't want to do that at all. I'll have you know, I was not interested in doing that. I was like, oh, just like time. But now that I've done it, I feel really good. I am one of those people that like, I really like knowing where things are in my space. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. But right now, I feel like I have clarity on literally exactly what I own and where everything is. It's probably been a little while since I've had that clarity, to be honest. I'm feeling, once again, these curtains are just so overwhelmingly white. So I am going to IKEA and I'm getting another curtain for our bedroom because we only have the blackout curtains because it used to be Luke's office, and we were like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But now I want to get another curtain for the back of the bed. I also want to get a little stand-up thing for my clothes. I'm thinking while I'm there, I might pick up another one of these curtains to put behind my computer. Then I put up my clothing hanger. You guys know that I love an open wardrobe. They just suit me so well. They work so well for me. They make things really easy and accessible. I honestly wouldn't want to go back to a closed wardrobe after having an open wardrobe. And I picked this up for under $15, which is insane. This is definitely smaller than what I wanted. I definitely wanted it to be a little bit bigger so that I could space out the clothes a bit more. But in saying that, I mean, everything fits, and I can fit the mirror there, which I didn't intend to. Then I've got all of my shoes down there. It looks so much better. I actually love this rack. If it was just a bit longer, it would be perfection. So I'm gonna give you a quick tour of what everything looks like and the little minor changes that I'm gonna make. Firstly, I really need a hook for my dressing gown. I use that so much in winter, so I'm gonna get a hook there that I'll hang my dressing gown on, because first thing in the morning, that's like the first thing that I do. I also need to get a little cord box for that, but I need to order it online because there's nothing that's long enough, and I like having lots of slots for my cords. That is the same dressing table or side table that you saw in my bedroom redesign video. We're going to hang these types of curtains up here, and if not, it'll be like a light gray curtain. That I need to find a spot for. Also need another cord box. We've got this, which you're very familiar with seeing. This situation over here, and this is the office. So I'm thinking I'm going to either swap that curtain with that curtain or just get a second set of those curtains and put it there, because before we had the koala bed that broke up all the white. Now it's literally a white couch, white cabinet, white desk, and it just looks a little too white in here. So I want to switch up that curtain. That is still being removed. By the way, that actually isn't a working conditioner. I had a comment on my last video, and I think some people thought that it was a working conditioner that I was getting rid of because it was yellow. Absolutely not. I would not get rid of an air conditioner just because it was yellow. You just can't afford to in the Australian summer. It's a non-working air conditioner that's just been sitting there being useless for some time. This is my desk. I'm thinking I might get some replacement desk accessories. We'll see how we go. In here, I have all my notebooks, I have my cards, and I have all of my shelving. Good to go. We have my little recording space over here. If you liked this video, you probably will like all of my life admin videos where I go through my to-do lists and I get a whole bunch of little things ticked off. I'm going to have that playlist on the screen and linked below. I appreciate you so very much, and I will see you soon.